So I'll try something a little different today. I normally don't do a live stream in the middle of the day, but decided to do that today. Dealing with the NFL draft, dealing with my taxes filed, and that's finished. So now I'm going to enjoy a little bit of Fire Pro. This is going to be a simulation match, and it probably won't last very long. It's going to be a tornado elimination match, and I'm using red shoes. But I'm going to use the arena in Mexico that I haven't really gotten to use much at all lately because I've been playing Fire Promoter so much. So I try to mix the companies and the wrestlers and the years where they were top stars. So you got some older guys, some newer guys. Mexico's team on the left there, and Japan's team on the right. Mexico gets home field advantage, so New Japan Pro Wrestling gets its referee. Take a quick look at the settings. I don't normally have critical at high, but in this case I do, because there's nothing quite like somebody getting knocked out in an elimination match and just lay in there for like a half hour. I mean, I'm all about good selling in wrestling, but come on. But in this case, it becomes rather comical. I normally play against the computer at level 8, and I normally sim it at level 8. I'm not sure how much of a difference it would make if I simmed at a higher level, or even a lower level. I really don't know how that works, but I found that I like it at level 8, so sticking with that. I've seen some people that sim matches at faster speeds. I mean, to me, that's not what I particularly go for. I prefer Fire Pro, you get it with a sit-out pile driver and you're up in 5 seconds or whatever. So, but it's a video game. There are certain liberties with reality that are taken. I think I ever tried slowing it down. Well, it won't let you. I guess can't really go into that. Oh, I'm glad I actually checked this. I was going to turn this off. So no rope breaks, because that can cause some real chaos especially in a multi-man elimination match. Although this is going to be a tornado, so these guys will be all over the place. No lumberjacks. I want them to be able to fly and do whatever they want. No count out. Now we'll keep the disqualification count on so we have at least some realism. As much realism as you can have with a 5-second count for wielding a barbed wire baseball bat. Unless you're just sloppy like I was trying to win a belt off of Flyer with Cedric Alexander in my Fire Promoter game. And I held onto the chair to the 5 count. I'm aghast. Couldn't believe I blundered like that. So it goes. It is tough for me to play and talk at the same time. It's kind of like the old NCAA football game. I couldn't have a conversation with somebody and play the game effectively because there's that level of concentration. And not surprisingly, there's a reason I love those two games. The series. I mean, the NCAA football series may be dead for a long time, but at some point, somebody's going to figure out a way as a workaround using the Steam Workshop. Now, that's not console gaming, obviously, but there's possibilities, I would think. Like, if it's true the PlayStation 5 that's being talked about, if it comes out and has backward compatibility all the way to 1, I would like that. I've got some really old games. It's a supreme hassle to break out the older units. I don't have my PlayStation 1 anymore, but I've got my 2, my 3, and my 4. Anyway, talking about the PlayStation that sits there turned off while I'm here on my computer. So, there won't be any entrances. I normally, well, you know what? I'll have to go back to I'll do a team entrance. I normally don't have entrances on because of music concerns with the live stream. Plus, it's a colossal chore to set up music for a given wrestler. Very unwieldy, even by this game's standards. And I see all this. I love this game. I hope nobody misunderstands me. It's just there's certain frustrations that just seem like it could be easy to work around if it's possible at some point. Another thing, just turning the volume up and down in this game, major hassle. I've got it to the point now where it's easier for me to pull up the, what's it called? So I clicked the wrong button, the volume mixer. And muting it from there, it's a quicker way to do it. At least for me it is. If you just hit up or down, maybe that'd be a good workaround, but particularly if I'm like, have the game on, but I've got something I've got to handle quickly, or something on Twitter I'm checking or whatever, and the game's still going in the background, it can be a little difficult. It's like a double negative on the choice there. I mean, ring entrance skip, off or on, as opposed to ring entrance itself off or on. It's like if somebody were holding a telephone pole and they weren't doing it by the books, and you had you clearly point toward one direction or the other. All right, so the ring entrances are set. No time limit. So the El Hijo del Santo, Juventud Guerrera, Titán, and Dragon Lee up against Tiger Mask, Jush and Thunder Liger, who I'm using the actual official New Japan Pro Wrestling download where it calls him Thunder Liger. I know that you like Jush and Thunder Liger, but hey, it's their intellectual property. They can license it as they see fit. And then Hiromu Takahashi, I hear he's coming back at the end of the summer. That's the word. They've had the best of the Super Juniors. There was a list leaked of like 19 names, which seems strange because there's only 15 shows on the tour. That could be like a false leak, though. I don't know. I would have thought that El Phantasmo may be the 20th entrant in the best of the Super Juniors. It's going to be tough this year in some ways, and in other ways it's going to be great. You know, because you won't have Hiromu in there unless he's able to make it back for it. I don't think he will be. That's what indications seem to be. And you won't have... I don't know about Will Ospreay. I think he will be in there. I think he'll do that in the G1 just because he's Will Ospreay. He's amazing like that. Dude was doing space flying tiger drops on spot shows. Like earlier New Japan dates he had. I think he's finally figured out ways to slow things down a bit and still be tremendously effective. I think Kushida, who just left New Japan and is now in NXT. Saw some photos of him facing off in a tag match against Kyle O'Reilly. Definitely made me think back to the best of the Super Juniors final, that tremendous match they had, which I thought was Jim Ross's best call of anything on Access TV. That's the one where, what was it? I think Kushida got concussed late. Or maybe O'Reilly did. O'Reilly got concussed late, but I mean, they didn't stop the match. I forget which one got. One of them had to talk the other one through it, essentially. But it was still, and I think Jim Ross played it off as if it was like trash talk, which was a brilliant way to do it. At least the way he did it. So, anyway, this should be fun. Be all over the place. You get to see my ATW Sportscast ring. That's the company that does the production for Father Ryan High School football that I do play-by-play for Friday nights in the fall. So here we go. I didn't mod anything on the stage. The ad for the Observer, the ad for Corona, and then a giant Penn Station sandwich on the corner padding. I don't think I've used this Thunder and Liger before with a sim. I don't know if I played as him. I think I saw him on the list and thought it was amusing that they were listing him like that. Although they don't have his blue version. They have like 2 outfits for him. And for paid downloadable content, what's essentially a palette swap, you think they would... But they can always add it later, I guess, if they want to. I don't know. So this match is pinfall or submission or disqualification. Actually, add knockout to that. That's the 4 ways you can get eliminated. And they do have criticals on high. Got rope breaks turned off. There'll be enough guys making saves as is, at least early on. I wish you could do a landmine explosion match as an elimination match, but I don't believe, unless there's been a mod that's come out that I don't know about, I don't believe you can. But I mean, even without the explosives, this is still pretty cool. Hijo del Santo knocked out of the ring. And this is the original Tiger mask, the really good one, Sama. Yeah, I wish there were a way to turn off the breaking up pinfalls thing in like Royal Rumbles, but obviously here it works out pretty well. Kind of more logical for guys to make the save when it's a teammate versus somebody they're trying to eliminate. Part of the psychology of those ridiculous 3-way matches where the first fall wins. And it's for a title. Like the main event of WrestleMania this year. It's nonsense. If you're going to do it, make it an elimination match. And if you can't, maybe book it another way. And that's not just like for WWE. I mean, that's not a shot at them. New Japan does the same thing. I remember how amazing the When Worlds Collide pay-per-view was in 1994, that AAA production that had involvement with WCW, that had the amazing El Hijo del Santo and Octagon versus Eddie Guerrero and the late Art Barr. I guess late Eddie Guerrero now as well, but that was Art Barr's final match. 5-star match, spectacular, in front of a red-hot crowd at the LA Sports Arena. And because it was WCW, they found a way to just not do it again. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, this particular version of Red Shoes has his last name, Ono, or actually his last name is Umino, like his son, Shotobo. I saw Shota Umino working as a young lion on a couple of the California shows I went to last year. But I like this version of Red Shoes except for the fact that his count is way too fast. Oh, our first 2.9, a near fall. Hoovy. Jush and Liger. Hiromu got stuck trying to make the save for Liger. Nearly cost him a fall. Another 2.9. Again, Jush and Liger just barely escapes. Hiromu with a German suplex on Hijo del Santo. I think Hiromu's about to take flight. The time bomb connects with a plancha, another 2.9 count. As Santo does a body slam to Hiromu. And look at that German suplex by Liger onto Dragon Lee. Flying out of the ring. And a double stomp off the top by Dragon Lee. A little bit of a thank you there to Liger for that last reckless throw. And it's the Phoenix Plex. Another 2.9. I have to admit, it makes me uncomfortable seeing Dragon Lee do the Phoenix Plex after seeing Hiromu get injured in person there at ringside. I was fourth row, third row, whatever it was, right there to see it. And that's pro wrestling, extraordinarily dangerous. It inherently is. That guy's just packed up here in this left corner. Look at him on the apron. Tiger Mask was trying to suplex Santo out of the ring instead of German suplex. That's the first fall. Mexico goes down 4-3, nearly 4-2. So El Hijo del Santo, the first out. There's the time bomb delivered to Titán. Tiger suplex. And a 2.9 count. Juvi escapes, but just barely. Sunset flip off the top by Dragon Lee on Kushida. Kushida escapes. Springboard moonsault onto Dragon Lee. Another 2 count. A Rana by Titán. And Tiger Mask in a 2 count. Missed palm thrust there by Liger. And in the quarter, Dragon Lee falls on Kushida. And another 2 count. German suplex. Juvi on Tiger Mask. Michinoku driver by Titán on Jush and Liger. And it's Hiromu making the save. It's tough to keep track of all this. It's like a 3-ring circus. Go to sleep by Dragon Lee. Hiromu Takahashi on the top rope. Just hanging out up there. Don't get disqualified. When you wait that long, you get what you deserve flying off the top. And there's a critical. And it's a pin. But the Juvi driver has critical Liger. And that ties it up at 3 apiece as far as the remaining wrestlers. 1 eliminated on either side. Juvi was pinned, and he's just going to lay there, I guess, for now. Look at that apron. Ooh, rough landing for Hiromu. Another 2 count. So that eliminates Kushida. It's now a 3-2 advantage for Mexico. Tiger suplex that just critical Juventud. You can break up the pinfall, but it's a knockout. And now it's 2-on-2. What a battle this should be. Dragon Lee and Titán against Tiger Mask and Hiromu Takahashi. Tiger Mask with a German suplex and a 2 count. Two count with Dragon Lee trying to get a pinfall on Hiromu. It's been a fun match. It's been tough to keep track of everything, but it's been fun. You got just Juventud laying there. You got Jush and Liger on the left side. A frog splash off the top by Dragon Lee on Tiger Mask. And it's a 2 count. And a strike exchange between Tiger Mask and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee gets the better of Tiger Mask, but Hiromu's right there to block any plans for a pinfall attempt or submission maneuver. A series of kicks there. Tiger Mask with a senton. Then on the right corner off the top, Hiromu takes a Hurricane run off the top by Titán. And it's a submission. Titán gets a submission out of Hiromu Takahashi. It's now Tiger Mask against Titán and Dragon Lee. Can Dragon Lee make the save? It's a near blunder there for Mexico. But this Tiger Mask Greater Wrestler is really strong. There's a roll-up by Tiger Mask. Another 2 count. These guys, I think Titán and Dragon Lee would be able to work together a little bit better. Finally get it right there. One-man Spanish fly, then a cover by Titán. That's going to do it. Mexico wins. Well, that was fun. So a 98% match evaluation, which seems about right.